And we are back with a new EthLizards video. Now, do you wonder what staking does and if you want to do it and so on and so forth? I'm going to show you exactly what staking is. I'm going to show you the staking dashboard, how to stake your EthLizards, and why this is important. Okay, so let's jump straight into it. Here is the staking dashboard. It is at staking.ethlizards.io. If you want to find the official link, go to the EthLizards Discord and look in their official links tab. Wait, I might be able to bring this up. Let's just pretend this happened instantaneously. Okay, so if we're in EthLizards, make this a little bit bigger, and we go to the official links tab, then we should have staking dashboard right here. Go click that, okay? If you're unsure about links, click the official links as much as you possibly can. So once we're in the official EthLizards links, you're gonna wanna connect your wallet. We'll go through the process right here. So connect in the top right, click MetaMask. They've got a really sweet setup right now. All my EthLizards are in my Ledger wallet, so I'm going to connect to that. If I have a Ledger, I don't need to click anything on it yet, but when I actually stake them, I will need to. And I want to have a look at this dashboard part of it just for a second, because you need to know kind of what you're getting yourself into. Firstly, if you lock up your EthLizards for, let's say, 90 days, you will not be able to sell them on the market for 90 days. That's just how simple it is. Also, you do not have to worry about any collab land issues, because it's a gated Discord, so you need a lizard to get into the Discord. Once you stake it, then you lock up your lizard in this contract. However, Andy and the EthLizards team have set up this epic system where it gives you back an EthLizard that has this little locked stamp on it. And what that means is that will be verified on collab land as well, and you'll be good to go. Wherever you need to be, if you need EthLizards to enter anything, you're good. You've got this spare lizard. And if you sent it elsewhere to get different collab land stuff, since you own the lock lizard, for example, if this was my wallet and I own the lock lizard, I can call back that dummy NFT, let's call it that, whenever I want to. So there's no security risk with having that other NFT kind of floating around. So it's all really, really awesome, a really unique system. Now, let's have a look at this. Currently, 775 total EthLizards are staked. What does that mean? That's almost 20% of the supply. Not much at all. But what's interesting here is if, say, some of these amount funded came back to the DAO and they distributed it to stakers, it would only be stakers receiving those rewards. So if we take this only about 20% of the supply, you're gonna get 5x more rewards than if everyone was staking. So that's a really good, interesting sign. That being said, this is day one of staking, so that number could increase. Who knows how much? Long story short, if there's not many on the market, then the price might go up. So there's two sides to this entire thing. But what I want to talk about is this total amount funded. Now, how does this come back? About currently, I think as it stands, but I could be wrong here, 50% of the amount that is rewarded to the DAO, how do I put this? So if they put money into a project, into a seed round, for example, they have put money into this project here called Halls of Olympia. And then they decide, the council passes a proposal and they decide they want to liquidate some of those tokens. Now, they've got vesting schedules, it's locked up for a certain period of time, so on and so forth. So they can't just do that straight away. But let's say they wanted to liquidate some of those tokens. Then they would take the tokens they liquidated, take the funds, 50% would go back to the DAO to help them invest in more stuff, deal with their community and other sides of the project, of the EthLizards project, and 50% would go back to stakers. Now, let's take a look at what this could kind of look like, okay? So I don't have any good examples of how Web3 ICOs have gone recently. Unfortunately, that would have been really, really good, but being in a bear market, nothing I'm saying is going to be correct. Nothing we're saying is going to be remotely correct or anything like that. The best example I am well familiar with is Alluvium, and some of those people in that ICO could have made, what, hundreds of X's, okay? Let's put it that way. But let's say in a bear market, your minimum is maybe going to be, or your maximum is maybe going to be a 10x if you were to liquidate really, really quickly. Obviously, it depends on the caliber of the project, among other things. So let's say 10x as a conservative estimate. It could obviously be higher depending on how good your seed was, how good the project is, so on and so forth. But let's say, okay, we're going to do this right here because it's going to be a bit of fun. No spreadsheets today. We're going to do it right here, okay? Let's say we've got our calculator. Let's say 1/7 since 7 projects are funded. Let's say 1/7 of that went to Halls of Olympia. So let's say 130,000 divided by 7. So let's say we invested, let's round it up to 20 grand. We invested 20 grand into Halls of Olympia. Now, let's say that we got a 10x on that when we decided to liquidate. Let's say that's in a year. I did have a brief look at their tokenomics, and it looks like that it vested for 2 years on the seed round, pre-staked. So maybe that has other rewards and things like that as well. But it might be in there for 2 years. But let's assume it gets liquidated straight away and we get all of it, okay? So now I've got 20 grand and it goes up 10x. Maybe there'll be a bull run in 2 years and it'll go up even more. But let's say we now have 200K in that project and then we liquidate it. But remember, half goes back to the DAO and half goes to stakers. So we divide it by, whoops, I should not have done that. Well, we know 200,000 divided by 2 is 100,000, okay? So sorry about that error. And we go back to the staking homepage. Now, how many lizards are staked? Only about 775 right now. So how many tokens would each lizard get? Now, there is one more element to this, but let's do this now. If we divided by that by 775, each ETH lizard could get $130 for pretty much doing nothing, which seems really sweet. And obviously these are really conservative, and that's just one project out of the 7. So there's a lot to consider in this entire realm. The other thing you have to think about is if you stake now, you're going to get one of the better possible bonuses on your staking rewards. So those that stake later are going to get less than you. Now, there's a lot of mechanisms so that those that stake later can eventually catch up. But for the most part, you're going to be ahead of them, especially for the first 90 days of staking. You're going to be ahead of the curve. So let's say 1,000 people staked today and then 1,000 people staked in 90 days. I don't know what the exact calculation is. But let's say that you have 50% more power than them. So you're going to get 50% more rewards than those later stakers are going to be when rewards eventually get distributed. So that's all really, really exciting. And now let's actually stake. So I've got my wallet logged in. I've got my ledger with me ready to go. Obviously things like a EthLizard are a good idea to put on your staking wallet. Let's do it together. So if I click staking, we're already there. If I click dashboard, and now I guess I have to approve V2 because I have 3 V2 lizards. And I confirm this transaction to approve it. All right, that's really good. I think MetaMask did a huge upgrade to their entire system recently to make it a lot more transparent what's going on so that you know what's happening. I'm going to approve this one here. It's processing the transaction. This will be happening on the blockchain. Usually takes about 30 seconds to a minute, depending on how much traffic there is on ETH at the moment. But it's been pretty fast for me so far. So I approve it, and then I would be able to stake them all. So that's really hype. I don't know if I'm going to stake all 3. I probably just will. I have no plan on selling them anytime soon. Let's put it that way. Yeah, I'm probably just going to stake them all. Let's be honest. Be honest with myself. I'm not honest with myself as often as I probably should be. Okay. So now we're good. So they've all been approved, and I'm going to click this little stake all button. I guess you could do it individually. Wow, $13 in gas. All right, there goes all my ETH, but let's do it. I don't want to miss out. All right. Stake all those EthLizards. That'll process, and then all our EthLizards will be staked, and it's just that simple. And then if you want to see those other tokens that you receive, so if I refresh this, it should show that they're all staked. No unstaked EthLizards found, and here are my 3 staked lizards. And there's the little icon that I was talking about before with the little locked NFT stuff, right? And if we go and have a look at, say, our OpenSea, we should be able to find those locked NFTs. You guys are going to see all my other bloody stuff, but that's all right. All right. Yeah. You do. There you go, locked lizard. That's pretty cool. And now you have this locked lizard NFT that has been given to you by the staking, by the EthLizards contract, which is really, really exciting. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope that makes sense and you learned something about EthLizards. Don't forget to check out my newsletter. It's in the description down below. And don't forget to check out my other video, which is going to be right up here. Have a good day, guys. Enjoy your lizards. And don't forget to stake them for those juicy rewards.